The African community is pissed at South Africans, especially black South Africans, for coming out here and voting for the DA. They would have loved to see Julius Malema as one of the parties to have done well. I understand some of these parties have come out here and during their campaign they made promises to the people. But then now the people, even you South Africans, you have to understand that the particular party that you voted for may not just deliver on everything that it said it will, because now it's a coalition government. You have to consider the policies of the other party that your party is now partnering up with. You understand? You have to have that maturity. You have to. There was a comment.
Yes.
In the previous pod. Someone took it upon themselves to ask, what's in your cup?
Oh, really?
There must be something in your cup that's gotten you to talk the way that you are talking. There must be something in your cup that's making you have that tone. Yes. They were trying to say that they disagree with what I was saying.
Yeah.
And that it's because there's something in my cup that I'm talking, in their opinion, nonsense.
So are we going to reveal what's in the cup?
No. We will not reveal what's in the cup. I'll tell you why we won't reveal what's in the cup. Because we do not do things to please people. And we don't feel under pressure or obliged to prove ourselves. We are not here to try to seek approval from people. We will never speak on things that we haven't researched about, things that we don't have knowledge about. We won't be out here to push a certain ideology. That's why, having said that, if you are from Rwanda, know that I love you. You are African.
Yes.
You understand? If you're watching this from TikTok, Instagram, Rumble, or X, we're across the board. Go to YouTube, check the core message, check the description, see that we are for African unity. We are for love.
Yes.
We're a Christian channel, by the way.
Very much so.
Yes. We are not out here inciting violence or promoting a hateful ideology. We are not hateful here. We call it spade a spade. We keep it real. We're authentic with our message. We also, at the same time, try our best to be respectful, but we got to call things out. So my Rwandi people have to know that they are loved by the rules.
Yes.
They are loved and they are appreciated. They are African. Every single person is appreciated. If you've tuned in, you're appreciated. If you're African, you are loved, you're appreciated. If you're from any other continent, you're also loved and appreciated. We want world peace and we want a united Africa. So we will speak on matters in South Africa, in Congo, in Senegal, in Burkina Faso, in Egypt, in Morocco, in Tunisia, in Ghana, in Congo, Brazzaville, in Senegal, in Sudan.
Tanzania.
In Zimbabwe.
Yes. Nigeria.
In Namibia.
Yes.
In Mozambique.
Yes.
In Lesotho. In Guinea-Bissau. In Niger.
Yes.
In Sierra Leone.
Malawi.
In Mali. In Ethiopia.
It's Morocco.
In Zimbabwe. We can keep going on with it.
Yes.
So whatever's in the cup, let it be in the cup. Know that whatever's coming out of my mouth is coming from a place of love. I think that rhymes too.
Yes, it does.
So having said all that, welcome to the channel. Welcome to this platform, wherever you're joining us from, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, or whatever it is.
Welcome. So have you been watching the thing of a Russian foreign minister taking a tour around Africa, inspiring them?
What do you mean?
And giving them, not inspiring them, just wanting to cooperate with them, with the different leaders.
Of course they want to. They see a gap. When they see Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, this triumphant country out here trying to be self-reliant, they know that there's a gap over there. Everybody's an opportunist. Whether we're talking about an individual or a company or even a country, everybody's going to look to see where the opportunity is. They know that Burkina Faso, any of these countries in the Sahel region were former French colonies, and the French have had their footprint in those particular countries for a long time. Now that they see these countries revolting, kicking the French out, they see a gap, they see opportunity. They also know that these particular countries might need help, assistance, some level of protection, tech development, perhaps some arms, some nuclear, whatever,
Yeah.
some armory,
Yeah.
some supply. So they'll make their turns there.
Yeah, they're providing support, military support to Burkina Faso,
That's
and
the
some
main
more
thing.
instructors. Yeah, as
Some
well.
what?
Some instructors to teach the military some new tricks.
That goes against the colonial pacts agreement that was signed from France, from the colonizer to any of those francophone countries. In this case, Burkina, Mali, Niger,
Yeah.
Senegal, and all these other ECOWAS, some of these ECOWAS nations. If the Russians are there, perhaps, to train some of those troops, it goes completely against those pacts. So there's major tensions behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think it's good that what it's happening. I mean, Putin is also against the influence of the West in Africa, in and around Africa. So the fact that he's also taking this initiative to use it to his advantage. So it's good that they're working together and they are exploring the ideas of working together with Africa.
They are welcome to try to build a relationship, and hopefully it's profitable for all, especially for Africa, because Africa is the most obvious out of the two that has been living in, that haven't been self-reliant.
Yeah.
So a big power is out, a big power, and that big power, talking about the West, talking about France, they're not completely out. We can say it's good that Russia's coming in there, but time will tell. We don't know. Nothing's free in this world. Russia's not out here just to support and to give free assistance in whatever area just because they are good Samaritans and we are Russians, and what we do is we go around the world just supporting people and giving them what they want without any ulterior motive, with no strings attached. So time will tell. That's my opinion on that one. But
Yeah.
I believe the French, the colonizers, have a game plan. There's absolutely no way that big powers are out here or colonizers are out here totally removing their hand from their colonies and allowing another foreign power to step in and start to reap the rewards or take advantage or eat or trade or take the things that the first colonizers used to profit from.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
other words, just like France comes out and says, or even America, we have to protect our interests. According to them, they built these nations. According to the colonizers, they built their colonies. Before we came over there, you guys had nothing. You had no idea how to civilize yourself, how to construct, how to develop your nations. We came in there, we established schools and infrastructures and hospitals and all these major things that you currently have things that have given you some form of independence. If you mess with us, if you go against the grain, if you go against the agreements that we've put in place since the 1960s, we reserve the right to come over there and protect our interests. You know?
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I'm sure France or the West, they have some sort of a game plan. They're not just watching what is happening. So it will be interesting to see what progresses from this Russian tour and how the France might react. It will be very interesting to see.
Yeah, it will be. You know, these politic games didn't start today.
Yeah.
There's always these types of moves left, right, and center.
Yeah, these backhanded moves.
Yes. And you have to follow international law. As it stands, as much as we admire the move by Burkina Faso, as much as we love Ibrahim Troare, as much as the entire African community is out here and is supporting him, we are behind you, brother. Keep doing it. Keep going out there, doing your best to make sure that Burkina Faso is self-reliant, going against the colonizers or moving away from them, kicking the French troops out. The colonial pacts that was signed and agreed upon by the founding fathers of all these francophone countries in Africa is extremely important and holds a lot of weight.
Yes.
It gives France the right to act, to do certain things. And as the colonizers, all they are doing is just weighing their options. For example, France will come out here and say, we have interests to protect in Niger. If Niger decides to do this coup or whatever and overtake the government, and it goes against the spirit of democracy and it goes against the agreements that was signed, it perhaps gives France legal rights to conduct its supposed military operations or invasion, because that's what the agreements perhaps says.
Yeah.
It says, yes, you can be independent, you can have your own army, but your army or your troops can only be trained by troops of France. So now perhaps when we have these other nations, in this case, as you mentioned, Russian people are over there making their tour over there to see what's going on over there. It goes against that.
Yeah.
If, for example, France conducted an invasion, and for some reason, if any other nation in the world decides to take France to the ICJ, it will be very difficult to find them guilty, because they have written agreements, colonial pacts signed that says, should our interest be threatened, we reserve the right to invade you.
You know, these colonial pacts, they actually anger me. The fact that these colonizers, they thought this well in advance to actually put those stipulations in these agreements. It's crazy. I'm not saying that it is
it crazy there. Or is it smart?
No, that's what angers me. That they were
smart?
No, not they were smart. The fact that they thought that far. As in, okay, they thought, maybe one day we would want to give them their freedom, but we still have to have a hold on them somehow. But they can never report us to the ICJ.
Maybe one day we want to do that. Maybe one day we want to have a leg to stand on.
Yeah.
It's called being smart. It's called taking care of that which you consider to be yours. You say that's yours.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to put every measure in. You know, when you go into a business deal, for example, we're talking business. When you go into any deal, you have to rip that deal apart. You have to aim to come out of that particular deal winning from all angles.
Yeah.
You can't be out here doing things, trying to play fair. You don't play fair. If the person doesn't fight for themselves, they lost they lost the deal.
Yeah, that's what angers me as well. The fact that our African brothers and sisters who were sitting at the table, they just said, okay. They saw this white person, the white person said, sign here, and they just did it.
You know, those supposed brothers and sisters you've just mentioned, it's almost putting it lightly. You have to use the term of funding forefathers.
Yes.
You know where they use funding forefathers? Because it's said with such supreme respect. And, you know, they knew it all.
Yeah.
These are the funding forefathers. Those particular funding forefathers were obliged. They were not obliged. Somehow they were obliged. Somehow they were strong-armed into signing those particular independence. You have to take it all the way back to 1958 when Mali and Guinea were the first to try to retaliate or go against those particular agreements, to try to disagree with the colonizers. They first said, you have to do this. Mali said no. France, what did they do? They poured concrete in those sewage pipes. They made it completely horrible for the Malians. They made sure that they told them, that they reminded them that we brought this sophistication, this civilization, this structure. We built this Mali. We did everything here. If you want us out, if you don't want to obey by these rules, if you don't want to sign on the dotted line, we're going to make an example out of you and watch. And they poured concrete in those sewage pipes. They suffocated the whole nation. The remaining Francophone countries said, we don't want that. We don't want that. Okay, we submit. We'll sign. We'll sign. And then they signed, and today we are in the predicament that we are in because of these supposed colonial pacts.
Yeah. So the fight back, it needs to continue. It needs to go around all of these African countries.
The fight back is admirable and is also dangerous at the same time.
Of course.
Because we know, when you look at history, History has taught us already, and history shows us what happens to individuals who want to take on the West
Yeah.
or colonizers, post-colonizers. Names like Thomas Sankaras comes to mind, Patrice
Yes.
Lumumba,
Yeah.
Chris Hani. There's a lot of names, Mohammed Gaddafi. Without going into any of those particular details, you guys know the story. There's a trend here.
Yeah.
And so therefore, precautions must be taken. And Ibrahim Troare is an exceptional man. He's a revolutionary, a person with guts who has decided to dedicate his life to a greater cause, to liberate the people of Burkina Faso. And in hopes also, as it's picking up momentum, certain African countries are admiring from afar. They are looking, they're loving the idea of being self-reliant.
Yes.
You know, but it's a dangerous game.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous game. We
It's-
can only but hope.
Proceed with caution.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
only but hope that these things, these events, these turnout of events, work for all. We are just also hoping that we now live in a day and age, this 2024, we're living in a day and age where even these supposed imperialistic countries can exercise restraint.
Yeah.
I think I can perhaps say, I'm not sure. You're welcome to give your opinion in the comment sections. I stand to be corrected. Your opinion matters. From wherever
Yeah.
you are watching from, please know that you are greatly appreciated. What you put in the comment section is extremely open. This
Yes.
discourse is extremely open for everybody to see, but we have to speak. So I think, will it be okay? Perhaps I should start that way. Will it be okay to say that, considering all the colonial pacts agreements that are in place between France and these colonies, these Francophone nations, would it be fair to say that France has exercised some form of restraint so far?
I think it will be fair. I think that's fair to say. I think that they are watching from a distance. Maybe they are planning their next move for sure. But yeah, they are definitely, if they are owning basically these countries, they are showing major constraint.
Yes, if these agreements that
Yes.
we continue to speak about are in fact true, that France
Yeah.
reserves the right to invade any one of these African nations that it colonized, if these agreements are true, if the facts are true,
Yeah.
that they reserve the right to do that to protect their interests, that means there's been some form of restraint and procedure or thing being followed so far.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a conversation we're having. Some people can come out here and say, no, you know what they've tried this, they've tried that, they've tried that. You just don't know about it. Well, we don't know about it, but we are just trying to logically think here.
Yeah.
If it was me and I knew I had all the rights to protect my interest, to claim back my interest, to be in charge like I've always was, would I have waited this long? Because we're talking about, for example, in the case of Burkina Faso, since September 2022, it's about 2 years. We're going on 2
Yeah.
years now. And there's no military operations. There's no invasion. There were threats of that here and there. There was this supposed, what's the name of this? ECOWAS. ECOWAS was being used to rectify.
negotiate.
Because that's one of the main roles of the ECOWAS, to make sure that there's always peace.
Yeah. To make sure that people, African countries, don't step out of line.
Within that particular region.
Yes,
only
yes,
the West.
yes.
Not
Yeah.
every African country.
Yes,
you know?
yes,
'Cause the
you're
East
right.
also have their own type of thing happening in the South and the North. I don't know about the North. I don't know about an institution. And then we have the African Union too.
But I think also we also have to consider the fact that France is under major public scrutiny right now. So they are really calculating their moves.
France, even if it has legal rights to invade its former colonies to protect its interests, it will think twice because they are dealing with an individual like Ibrahim Troare, who is loved by the entire African community.
Yes.
Public opinion matters. So even if France believes it would be operating within its legal right, it cannot just come out here and act the way that it wants to act. It would be seen reckless.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So they have to weigh their options very well.
I mean, it's also the fact maybe people are also watching, like how many African countries are having elections in 2024? I think it was 19, right?
Yes,
19.
Who's the next one?
The next,
I know that Rwanda
believe
is
it's Rwanda. I think 15th.
I don't know if it's the next, but I know they're on the 15th next month.
Yeah. Because now, like, South African elections are sort of done 50-50, but they are interested to find out, the world is interested to find out who the ANC is going to partner up with, to form the coalition government with. So
it's not over. It's not even 50-50. You can even consider those elections were 30% of it being completed. Because coalition seeing now who will partner up with who ANC will choose to partner up with. If they partner up with the DA, they will lose a chunk of people. When it comes to the South African elections, the results so far, the African community is pissed at South Africans. To keep a spade and to speak the way we always do, because we don't front here, we go direct with it. The African community is extremely pissed with South Africans, especially black South Africans, for coming out here and voting for the DA. They would have loved to see Julius Malema as one of the parties to have done well in these particular elections. They don't know so much about MK. MK is new. The only figure out there is Jacob Zuma.
Yeah.
So you hear it in the comment sections. They say it. They criticize South Africa. How could you do this? South Africa, why are you going backward with this? We thought the mission was to move forward. Look at Burkina Faso. Look how well they're doing. Look at Senegal. We're doing our utmost best to advance, to move forward, to keep pushing the spirit of Africanism, Pan-Africanism. Why are you going back to, in their opinion, South Africa is drawing back towards its old apartheid regime?
Oh.
Yes. There's some people that are of the opinion that don't vote for the DA. That's the white man. Don't vote for him.
And I don't understand
Some people don't
that.
even look at policies.
I don't even understand how they can say DA is that kind of party.
What do you mean you don't understand?
What's
his name? Steenhuisen.
Yes, just because he's a white person doesn't mean that...
To some people, even this 30 years that the ANC have been empowering, they are still living they still don't have economic freedom. Most South Africans still have not reaped the rewards of this supposed democracy that they've had for the last 30 years. So before we can even actually taste the fruit of Madiba, of this supposed democracy we have, we are now free. We are all equal here.
Yes.
You want to bring back the DA? You want to bring back the Muzungu? Muzungu. It's a Muzungu. It's Muzungu. I think Muzungu is in Swahili. We don't want no Muzungus here now. I don't care if the ANC is corrupt. We don't want no Muzungus here now. There's some Africans who feel that way. South Africans have come out here and proved to the rest of Africans that, we're going to vote for them because their policies are like this.
Yeah.
The African community is pissed at black South Africa. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
Yes. Because when you go into the different policies, the DA is considered to be more of a capitalist type of party. Similar to that of, it's not like a progressive party. It's not like EFF or even MK. Because MK and EFF are more of a progressive party that do things to try to, they work for the poor, for the poverty people. It's a progressive party. We want to put some progress in this place, and we want to, we want to cater to the masses, to the to the population. So The entire African community would have loved to see that. They would have loved to see perhaps even EFF come in second.
Oh, that would have been. Oh, that would have
should
been
have
great.
been.
Yes, that should have happened.
But MK Jacob Zuma came out here to disrupt everything.
Out of nowhere,
Yeah.
he decided.
The
But-
crazy part about MK and Jacob Zuma's party is the fact that Jacob Zuma himself says that he's ANC for life.
Yeah.
He's a member of the ANC for life, but you have another party, bro.
But I also don't think that MK, they want to be part of the coalition government.
They have no choice. They can try to stay by themselves with those 56 or 59 seats, but that doesn't really, they won't really be able to push much. You know,
Yeah.
in that parliament, it's about convincing other parties that this particular policy, this objective is good for the country. Let's do this. How well do our policies align?
Yeah.
You can't just come out here and partner up with any party that is completely separate to the other, you know, that don't have the same objectives or policies or what they want to achieve.
Yeah.
So they have to try to work with ANC has the toughest job. These other parties can decide to stick it out for the next 5 years and say, yes, we will continue to push our message and our ideology as a party, all our things until the next elections and do our best to grow numbers and all that kind of thing. But Parliament needs to open up.
Yeah.
They have to work. They
Yeah.
have to partner up. It's a coalition now. The ANC has never been in a position where they've had to consult or work
Ooh.
with another party that comes with its own agenda and policies.
Yes.
For 30 years, they've been the big boys out here. For 30 years, they've been calling the shots left, right, and center. They now find themselves in a position where they'll have to play as a team. You understand what I'm saying?
And they are finding it very hard.
For the last 30 years, their egos were being stroked. They don't even have the skill to humble themselves. They don't even know how to work with others.
That's very true. I mean, watching them on the news, it's been like, you know, they're trying to put on this brave face to say, yes, we are happy to do so. We are going to work with the other parties, but inside they are like, man.
Inside them, the ANC have lost.
Yes,
They lost these elections.
very much so.
When you go from 57% to 40%, that's a big loss. That's a big hit. I think they used to have around 250 something seats in parliament.
Yes.
Now they're down to 159 or 151 or whatever, in the 150s. All of those people have lost their jobs. Almost 100 people.
Yes.
You are no longer going to parliament.
Oh, Lord.
Can you give me that badge? And they have to reshuffle between them. Look, you stay, you come up. You go. Look, you're still a part of the party.
You're just in the back end right now.
You're going to be mobilized now. Maybe we'll shift you to that municipality. You have to move from Gauteng. Now you have to go to stay in Eastern Cape. See that little municipality there or that little section we have there of the ANC? You can be the duty manager in that little office down there. So one of these people, they go from being these parliament members, these MPs, to being one of those designated duty manager at one of those little office that opens 3 times a week for ANC.
My goodness.
Some people, they have to come down, they have to humble themselves and understand that it is what it is. It's a different era now.
It's definitely a tough pill to swallow for the ANC these days.
But it's a blessing in disguise. I love the fact that it's going to be a coalition government.
Me
said it
too.
before.
Yes.
I've said it before. Because the government or the parliament has to be working for the people. It's always been about the people. It was always supposed to be about the people.
Exactly.
It was never about you politicians out there. It was never about you MPs. It was always supposed to be about that lady who lives in the township, the one that doesn't have any money, the one that has to travel all the way to the CBD via train or via bus. You understand? It's always been about that old man. It's always been about these forgotten ones. You understand? Now they're going to have to work together.
Exactly.
You guys, Enough sitting in your special offices and comfort places, getting all these huge salaries as politicians while the masses suffer. It's ridiculous and it's pathetic. It's embarrassing as a nation when you've been in power for 30 years as the ANC and you're still dealing with like mediocre issues like water, lights, education,
Yes.
the medical sectors, infrastructure, crime, all these statistics. What does the ANC have to show in these last 30 years? You know, they're gonna have to work together. They're gonna have to reach across the aisle.
Exactly. It will be very interesting to see who is being announced on the 16th of June. Be very interesting.
And the other interesting thing when it comes to coalition is the fact that this supposed MK party, you know, if the ANC partners up with the DA, boom, they over the majority. They have over 200 seats, boom, that's the coalition party that will lead, boom. The president is there and they make their decisions as to who would take the spot in the cabinet, bam, bam, bam. With MK, they can also do it.
Yes.
Those are the major two that the ANC can work with. The ANC cannot work with
PA.
EFF. Not PA. PA is they got like 3%.
Yeah.
They still very much like you still need more coalition to get you over that 50% mark. So they cannot work with the AFF. They can only if they take MK, bang, there we go. If they take DA, boom, they make it. But MK refuses to work with Cyril Ramaphosa. They are willing to work with the ANC, but they don't want to work with Cyril Ramaphosa. No,
now,
we don't want that.
Will Cyril step down?
No, they've also come out and said that's a no-no.
Did they?
Yes, they're not going to step down.
Oh.
Politics. You think Cyril will give it up and give it to who? Who? So nobody's really entertaining that part because that part doesn't matter. Unless maybe we didn't know and he just plans to resign by himself. But even Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa himself, when you look some of the past footages and you go a little bit deep in stories and history, he's very close to, what's that family?
Which
Oppenheimers?
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimers.
Yeah.
Yes, them.
Yeah.
Those are the big fish, huh?
Actually, that's true, yes.
Those are the top dogs of South Africa. They don't play games.
Yeah.
They are the ones making moves out here that even us, the public, don't see. That family, no jokes, man. They run everything. They
Yeah.
run everything. All those politicians go back over there, especially from the ANC. They go back over there and report. They sponsor. They endorse. They pay the money for all these campaigns.
Wow.
You know that DA had the most money for this election. Over 250 million rand was paid by the Oppenheimers for your
Really?
campaigning. Oh,
Whoa.
no jokes. They're out here. They know they have a plan to change the system.
Yes.
South Africans themselves have to educate themselves and start to look through the lines to see what is the objective here? What's the plan? What's the strategy? What are they up to? It's very easy to just come out here and accept whatever they tell you as they are campaigning. As black folks in South Africa, you gotta be smart with this. Because before you know it, you're back into the Mzungu is controlling again the country. But I just don't understand how most South Africans fail to understand or to see the apparent great news, great policies that the EFF has.
Yeah. I just think South Africans, they didn't enjoy the way Julius maybe or the EFF members delivered their messages.
Yes, and you know, it's the same thing that's perhaps currently happening now in these small little skits. Small skits, that's what they are. All those little skits that are on TikTok are small skits. Okay, my Rwandese people, calm down. If you want to know more about our opinion on these matters, on the DRC, on Goma, on the M23, on you, my beautiful African people. You run these, follow the long format, watch the long format. It will be good for you, okay? We love you out here. We just call it spade a spade.
Yes.
Of course, we are factual with our stuff. We can disagree, but an open discourse, please, that's fine. But don't focus too much on the tone or whatever. But the tone and all this going about it, speaking your mind, is what has affected the EFF.
Yes.
Julius Malema, at first, when he was talking about the land, it really, really left a almost permanent imprint on the minds of the South Africans.
Yeah, for sure.
The biggest thing that doesn't work in his favor or in the EFF favor, although when it's well explained to you, when we say repatriation of land without compensation, although when it's said to you, when it's explained, it makes total sense. When you say we have to nationalize all the assets, all the mines for the interest of the state, for the interest of the country, it makes sense. But at first, the way it was delivered, the first time,
It was too forceful.
it was, yes.
And they weren't ready for it completely.
It was considered, it was taken, who the hell does he think he is?
Yeah.
Who the hell is he think? That's why sometimes some South Africans describe Julius Malema by using the terminology dictator. That he would be a dictator type of leader. We disagree.
I don't see that at all.
We disagree. We see passion. We appreciate passion. We like to be led by leaders who don't front it. What you see is what you get. They are not politically correct.
Yeah.
We don't want a puppet that's politically correct. We don't want a leader that sounds too good to be true. We want a leader who we can critique at times and say, you shouldn't have said it that way. It shows you that you are getting the real him or her.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
These ones that come out here well polished, always saying the right terminology, the acceptable language that doesn't rub people the wrong way, are the ones to watch out for.
Yeah.
Because they are always in disguise.
Yeah, it's the ones that have those speech writers writing them the perfect speech. Those
Yes.
are the ones to be watching out for.
Those are the ones that use those proteges.
Yeah.
Those
those interns.
Those interns.
Yeah.
That really know how to write. And they think about what they write. They say, don't say this, otherwise it might make them think like this. Don't say that, otherwise they'll get it wrong over here. You want to say this, you don't want to say that. Put it this way so that they can get it this way. But at the end, once they vote for you, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah, the deal is done.
The deal is done.
Yeah.
But when you have a row up front, real and authentic, Malema standing up there telling you, hey, it's your land. You don't own anything.
Yeah.
You don't own anything. What do you have? You don't have, there's no difference between you as South African and a foreigner. When a foreigner comes here, when he comes to visit here, he comes with nothing. He only comes with his bags. What's the difference between that foreigner who doesn't own land in the South Africa and you, South African, who also don't own land in the South Africa? There's no difference.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a shameful thing to actually know that land in South Africa is freely available for any person in the world to buy.
I mean, that's fine. That's how you encourage foreign investment, yes. But we are talking about majority of the land, especially commercial land that you can use. Some of these lands are still in the hands of the minority of the individuals that got it for free in the first place, and they're able to commercialize it for their own good.
Yeah, and they keep it within the family. They start handing it down, so it becomes generational.
What good is a country without its control on the valuable assets of that particular country? If you call yourself South Africa, what makes you South Africa? You understand? You need to have value. You need to have resources.
Yeah.
You need to be, listen, man, you need to be in control of the resources of your country, man. As a country, you cannot leave that up to private individuals. The country needs this. And the countries out here with a corrupt-free government, by the way, that's extremely important. In order to have these assets or these mines in South Africa nationalized, you need a corrupt-free government. The supposed ANC that's been in power for 30 years, imagine if some of these mines was in the hands of the states.
Whoa.
Within a corrupt government. They would... You understand what I'm saying?
I get you.
So perhaps it's good that some of these assets in these mines have been in private hands or private sectors
Yeah. Protected
for the last
it.
30 years. For the last 30 years, because it was being protected indirectly
Yeah.
from the corrupt ANC that did absolutely nothing. Because with a simple little thing like ESCOM and SAA, they couldn't manage. Who tells you, what guarantees you that they would have been able to manage all these mines that are worth billions,
Yeah.
trillions? You said corruption. We said that movement that existed that said Zuma must fall, it was out of corruption. Now imagine if all the resources that were available to those particular individuals at the time in the ANC was these mines, gold.
I cannot
all
even
this.
think. I cannot even think what it would have been like.
So it's a risky thing to be in. It's a predicament. You need a corrupt-free government.
That is the aim, yes.
Corrupt-free government.
Yes.
You know, it needs to show that okay, these mines, that particular land over there, that's worth $2 trillion over there, is in the hands of the state. Yes. Okay. And what is the state doing for the country? Because as a result of that, they're building a complete green thing over there in sustainability. They're building this. We are strong in energy. We are high in energy. We produce our own energy. Look at our manufacturing industry. We produce our own things and all this kind of thing. And education is free in this country. Understand? We got state-owned university and state-owned school where these kids can go to school. We have hospitals where the facilities are amazing. Because,
Yes.
And it shows that it's because these particular assets of the country are in the hands of the state.
Yes.
Understand? How do you achieve that with a corrupt government?
It's not possible.
Because that load shedding have taught us a lesson. It has reminded us, it have taught us that there's a level of mismanagement going on around here.
Yeah.
You guys need to get your stuff in order, man. Get your stuff in order. Why do you want us to trust you? There's a reason why the ANC used to be at 57% and now they find themselves at 40%. That's because most South Africans can see through the cracks, through everything, and say, woof, the corruption has been real for the last 30 years in this particular party. I am done. I'm sick and tired. It means some people, the loss of 17% from the ANC party does not mean certain people didn't vote.
Yeah.
It means some people changed their vote. I used to be an ANC supporter for life. I used to belong to the party of Madiba, of Nelson Mandela. But I am sick and tired of this low shedding. I'm sick and tired of lack of proper education and medical stuff. And my wages. Salaries keeps sick and tired. I'm changing my opinion right now. I'm on a pivot.
Yeah, and I'm
South Africans are pissed.
very, very proud of my fellow South Africans for pivoting, for actually taking some sort of a stand. Hopefully in the next 5 years, it'll be completely out, ANC, hopefully.
So there's two ways to look at this. The African community is pissed at Black South Africa for making sure that the DA, a white-led party, is in second place. And in the third place, we got two more black parties.
Yeah.
The MK and the EFF, especially Julius Malema, number 4. I cannot comprehend this. So the African community is pissed about that. But also at the same time, the South African themselves, or the Black South Africa, says to itself, we need to make a change because this supposed ANC over here, it's not working for us. And then they look at the Western Cape, where the DA is in charge, and you can somehow say, man, they're doing a great job over there.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Cape Town, man.
Look at my city.
Look at the transport system in
Yes.
Cape Town. My city bus.
Come on.
Helen Zilla people.
But I also think, now that you mention Helen Zilla, I think what hurt the DA was that ad about the flag.
You mean they could have done better than
Yeah,
they did?
I
Because
think
they
so.
are not hurt. They grew in numbers.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. But I think they could have, yes, you're right. They could have done better if that ad was not done at all.
That's possibly true.
Yeah.
That's possibly true because that was unnecessary. I don't know why she posted it.
Yeah, she posted
Why
it.
did she get one of these proteges to do it on their account or on some other account or
I mean,
whatever?
that move is just ridiculous, man. This, I
It
don't
got
know.
a lot of scrutiny,
Yeah.
but even those mainstream medias out there, they decide to focus on certain stories to drive certain narratives out here. That's why the media is extremely important. When the media focuses on a particular stories, it has an impact on the outcome of certain results.
Of course.
So those media outlets also, they have power and influence.
Yeah.
So that is something to look at, but the fact is they grew.
Yeah, that's true. They grew.
I think there used to be, I think it was 20% or
27 or something?
No. They wish.
Oh.
They around 20, I think it's 22% now.
Oh.
I think it's 22%. Maybe they grew up by like a percentage or two or something.
Oh,
But I know
okay.
they got like 2 or 3 more seats.
Yeah.
But you can even see the way that Steinheiser walks around conducting interviews. It's almost as if he won the election. Huh?
Yes. Almost like.
But that's the power of coalition.
Yes.
Because they know that the ANC needs them.
Yeah.
It's either you take us in your coalition, in this coalition, or you have to take 2 parties. And we know how much
EFF.
MK doesn't want your president, doesn't want Cyril Ramaphosa. So it's us. I have a feeling, I think it's time to make a prediction now. I think it's time to almost try to predict this thing. I think, well, I know the ANC and EFF is not enough. Doesn't
No.
get you over 200. ANC and MK can get you there. I think that there's a possibility where Cyril Ramaphosa people and Jacob Zuma see there's an opportunity where they could come to an understanding to meet each other halfway in a way where Cyril still remains the president. But Jacob Zuma's got to take a very, very, very important seat.
Possibly.
I think, I stand to be corrected, but I think I'm right. I know I'm right. Cyril Ramaphosa used to be the deputy president.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, and Jacob Zuma was there.
Yes. So you're
So,
thinking role
Like
reversal.
reverse role. I think Zuma would be okay. Would be okay, sort of okay, happy. Just for maybe this term. It's 82, huh?
Yeah.
Trust you me, when he goes to bed, he thinks about this. He
Maybe.
considers it. Because asking Cyril Ramaphosa to completely step down
That's too much.
and for you to lead, no way, man. That's not going in there.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Your prediction.
Because that other possibility of the ANC
With
and
the DA.
will just piss the rest of Africa off. Africa don't want to see that. Africa doesn't want to see the DA take a major position in that government or that parliament.
Ha.
Because that would mean perhaps the DA would come out here and say, we want Steenhuisen as the deputy president.
Whew.
And if should Cyril Ramaphosa perhaps mess up somewhere,
It's him.
South Africa.
With a white president again. Whoa.
But that would actually mean true change. True change.
That means trust.
It means the people of South Africa have thought about this, perhaps. I don't know. Whoa, please don't come for me so fast. I know my Pan-Africanism, black diaspora that would just come for me. There's some people who are just this skin forever. But it's about studying these manifestos, checking the correct leader, because as much as you might want a specific ethnic leader or race,
Yeah.
it's not always a guarantee that you will get your way. Look
Yeah.
what happened there. The African American people aren't so happy with Barack Obama.
Yeah, man, come on. They got a different race, and then what happened?
They got the race. They got the race they wanted, but how did your life change? What happened? You know. So you really, and in the case of Trump, according to some people, you people can leave your opinion. According to what we've seen, apparently he's done more for the black community, for the African American community, for the Hispanics, for the women, for the older minority, for the forgotten ones. So that voting that way is too like it's not
close-minded.
It's not thinking things completely true.
Yeah.
Like you have to really study these things and find ways to vote for the right party. But you gotta go through. But you gotta look at everything. You know, whether this is a capitalist type of party or this is a socialist, this is a progressive, or whatever, so that you make your decision based on that. And how much pressure would the new coalition governing party will have from the West? How much pressure?
Oh, yeah, that's true, huh?
Yes, you can't be out here being a socialist country and all this. This is not for the West. The West are not up for that. The progressive parties. Look, South Africa, look, we're going to sanction those Indigo, whatever, Ndago. Those things are not coming here.
Yes.
Oh, the West plays a game. You can't just be out here. The conversations that are happening in these supposed rooms where these South African parties are sitting together and negotiating about how to partner up. It's not restricted only to how they feel about each other. They gotta look at the global picture. And how would the rest of the world deal with us as this supposed new government that now stands either is capitalist or socialist or whatever?
Yeah, that's true.
And how would the West respond to us if we were that type of a coalition government? How would that go? So everybody's got to weigh those options. There's some people thinking behind there.
Yeah, of course.
So while the rest of us and the rest of us are just sitting there, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who? Between who? D and ANC?
Yeah, we can all just speculate and give our opinions and what we feel would be best. But in the end, it are those politicians that know.
We also know, we have our opinion. I mean, we study, we know what the world, we know which direction in the world, we know what stands here, we know who has more weight.
Yeah.
We know what happens in places like ICJs and all this kind of thing, where some of these big imperialistic countries are in charge. So we're able to like say, hey, I don't see that happening. I don't see them doing this. I don't see them doing that. But interesting stuff. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we see how it plays out.
Another thing I saw, and because I remember we're going to West Africa, back to West Africa, but towards Senegal now. Senegal. There was something I saw where apparently Faye, the newly appointed or elected president of Senegal, he's doing his utmost best somehow to try to bring back Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger to the table with ECOWAS.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like he promises to do that. He will do his utmost best. He will make it his mission to make sure that Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger comes back to ECOWAS and all that kind of thing and all of that.
So ECOWAS is going to the lamb, basically.
It's trying to use
the baby face Faye to try and bring them back.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know if ECOWAS is going that, or I don't know if it's an initiative taken by Faye or by Senegal themselves. But there's that kind of thing playing out there. How to get back to that. You know, the original mission of ECOWAS is worthy. I mean, is good. It's good to have that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've traveled through ECOWA nations.
Yes.
It's so nice. When we speak of unity, when we say we want Africa to unite, we want also a similar situation that exists right now between ECOWA nations. Because ECOWA nations can travel between them easily.
Yes.
And this facilitates trade and relations and partnerships and all these types of stuff. They're able to use that one particular ECOWAS passport and travel through all those 15 nations.
Yes.
You know? So that's what we mean also when we say we want the entire African continent to be united, is to have a system like that that makes it easy. This fear that most South Africans have of open borders, this is why they criticize Julius Malema so much, because they think he wants an open border policy. And South Africans, especially black South Africans, are out here saying, no, we don't want that, because otherwise all the people from all the impoverished nations of Africa will all flock down to South Africa and want to take our jobs and stay in our land. We're already suffering. We don't have jobs. They'll come here and take our jobs. Crime will increase. All these drug lords will come over here. We don't want open borders. Julius Malema wants open borders. This is why we will not vote for him. That's one of the factors why we didn't vote for him.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are out here saying he wants open borders. They don't get the message. What's happening in core nations? For example, there's a difference between Sierra Leone and Ghana. There's a difference.
Yes.
You don't see Ghana full of Sierra Leoneans. You don't see the whole entire Sierra Leone flocking off to Ghana. You don't see that. You can go to Lagos. You can go to here. You can go to Senegal. You can travel to most of these places.
Yeah.
You don't see these people. You don't see a group of people migrating to the giants of to Abuja or to Ghana. Let me go to Accra and stay there.
No.
You don't see that. And in that Accra is cool, huh? And the money's strong, huh? Accra.
Yeah.
It's strong.
Yeah, you're right.
It's almost like that UAE. Like that dirham. You don't see like all these other nations wanting to say we're gonna go there. So that's what I want to see. So the core messaging, the reason why this ECOWAS was founded in the first place, the ideology, the idea is a good one.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. The thing that people need to understand, that borderless Africa is not completely borderless. There's still like immigration that needs to happen, you know?
Yes, there's still vetings, there's still things. But in Europe, for example, you just check in, check out.
Yeah.
There's no visa. You wouldn't need visa. There isn't even, I think there's for example, when you travel to Europe, you can land anywhere in that Europe that has a Schengen visa. Like in my case, a few times that I've done, I land in that Stockholm. And then from that Stockholm, I do my thing. I'm chilling out there. And then I just say, okay, let me go to France. You just hop on a plane. You go straight. You just show your ticket. That same Schengen visa that got you into Sweden, guarantee you stay within like a domestic type of channel.
Yeah.
Even when you land over there, you're not landing on the international.
It's like flying Cape Town to Johannesburg. It's not.
Yes, but it's not so domestic. It's still international, but they just have this thing where.
Oh yeah.
You just came in through Europe through. Okay, fine, go.
Yeah.
It's like just stamp in, stamp out. Very easy.
Yeah.
That's what we need in Africa.
Yeah, it's true. But we also need people to, when they get the visas or whatever is required, that they actually go.
What do you mean go?
And they don't overstay.
There won't be any overstaying because it's open. You can just go there.
My brain, yes.
Yes, you can just go and stay there. You move around. Nobody's going to tell you, sorry, only 30 days, huh?
Yes.
No, there's no visa.
My brain.
We just move. We just move freely and we go back. Yes, there's people in Paris that are from Sweden. Nobody's telling them, hey, it's time for you to go back.
Yeah.
They be chilling out there. Go back according to what? According to what period? What are you talking about? It's open borders over here. Yeah. Like when I land, when one lands in a Schengen country, that Schengen visa has its time, but you gotta go out within that period. And you gotta go out from the same country that you came in. So I came in through Stockholm. I do my thing. I can go to Germany, Italy, France, all those other countries. But when I need to leave that Schengen place, that Europe, I have to go back through that Sweden where I came in from. I go back out there. It's like out of the bubble. Get out, go. So wherever you came in, that's where it's like, that's why that particular country is the one that gave you the visa. The Schengen visa.
Yeah.
So you go in through that, you enter the bubble through that. Yeah, so this Africa needs to, what's the reason why a lot of people haven't embraced this idea is because they're not very well, this idea is not well explained to them.
That's true.
The advantages and the benefits that comes with being united hasn't really been explained to them. They are here fearing the loss of breadcrumbs, not understanding that together we are stronger, together we'll achieve more. If I'm able to travel anywhere in Africa and do my thing, start business, forge relationships and partnerships, and do my thing, it's a great thing. This fear that exists in most people, especially in some South Africans there, is the reason why this border policy from EFF was a tough pill for them to swallow.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
They need to really weigh their options. We're talking about economic unity. Yes.
Come on.
We're not talking about whether you like me and whether I like you too, whether the girls over there like this, the guys over there like this. We're not talking about any of that shit. We're talking about making money, man. We're talking about economic unity. Doing things together that benefits us both.
Yes, stronger together.
Yes, just as much as I will be welcome to travel to South Africa as an African and not needing no freaking visa, you are also welcome in my country. Have you ever, you South Africans, have you ever been to Ghana? There's a nice culture in Ghana.
Yes,
Ooh,
yes.
Although they have a corrupt government also over there, but look,
the Ghanaian people.
Let's just do our things as civilians. As citizens, these perhaps puppets will forever be puppets as they are. Perhaps corruption will always exist here and there. Name me a country in the whole world that's not corrupt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, some are. Some countries at least know how to hide their corruption because they do great things for their citizens. So you know that you will never always be, you won't take anything, but at least do something good.
Exactly.
But it's, it needs to be well explained to these people that are fearing a supposed complete migration of a certain nationality into your country. That's South Africa. As they form this coalition government, it's extremely important.
Yes, of course.
We need, the rest of the African community needs South Africa to really showcase to us here that they have the ability to come out here and do things for the people. And these politicians need to really sit together and really come up with something that's good for the whole country, not for their own policies that they want to push. Now, I understand some of these parties have come out here and during their campaign, they make promises to the people. But then now the people, even you South Africans, you have to understand that the particular party that you voted for may not just deliver on everything that it said it will, because now it's a coalition government. You have to consider the policies of the other party that your party is now partnering up with. You understand? You have to have that maturity. You have to.
Very good point. Very good point. Yeah.
As an EFF supporter, if I see EFF now partnering up with the ANC, I have to know the funding manifesto of the ANC and see what is their main agenda and see where perhaps we might meet 50-50. It's the new South Africa now.
Yeah.
So no more majority rules. South Africa doesn't need majority rule types of governments over here because that leaves the door open for corruption.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? They need to collaborate. And we
Yeah.
all know it will be a little bit difficult for them to entertain the ideas or the policies, the traditions of corruptions if they're at least working together.
Yeah, of
they'll
course.
be shy at least. Perhaps they'll be shy at least.
They won't push the agenda
They'll
that
push it.
much.
But we also know that true corruption or effective corruption comes from outside, not
Yeah.
necessarily from the government people themselves, but from private sectors, from those private companies or businessmen that are on the outside that are getting these MPs to pass legislations that work in their favor. That's true corruption.
Yeah.
You need to pass that. The business has to do well.
Yes.
Remember, we sponsored that. We gave you 250 million rand. What kind of policy is this that will prevent us to do this as a business, as a company?
Yes, we need to
Give
see
you
the fruits of
DA,
that.
we gave you 250 million.
Yeah.
For example,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean, if you know who gave what, then you know. But we're not calling out anybody here.
Yeah.
We're not saying that particular. Look, I hope you get the message. You understand?
We're not saying that the donation actually happened. We don't know.
We know that certain campaigns were sponsored. We know that lobbyists exist. We're not denying that. And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. It's a tradition. It's all over the world.
Yes.
People do that. And that's the reason why, in my opinion, EFF lost so many votes. Did the EFF lose votes? Or did the EFF didn't get as much as they needed to or as they wanted to? I think it's the second one.
Yeah.
Because MK showed up here.
Yeah. MK just took them by surprise and just, they took their votes for
Yes.
sure.
But, wow, I think this is election number what? 3 or 4, right?
For the EFF.
For the 2024
Oh, yeah.
in Africa. Because there are 19 elections
19,
in Africa. I think
yeah.
this is election number 4 or 5th, 4 or 5.
I'm not really, yeah.
The first one started, I think, 17th of January.
January.
I forgot the names, but I'll get back to my list. I'm only human. We only human. And so there's more to come. Some of these other countries that are also holding elections, the topic isn't so huge.
No, not
They don't
yet.
make so much noise.
Not
because
yet.
Some African countries just want to stay in the background.
Yeah, but the Kagame one is coming up now. So they are coming up in the news.
The 15th of
The
July.
15th of July. So that's the next exciting
The
one.
Rwandese have already promised me that they're going out there to vote for the excellency. Look, we are not out here trying to influence your vote. You vote for whoever you want to vote for. You need to get one thing straight, Rwanda. When we speak here, we speak in terms of Africa, for the love of Africa, for unity. So our message is to unite ourselves. We need to be united. It should bother you as a Rwandese if your neighboring countries is experiencing certain things.
Yes.
Just like it should bother certain Congolese if there are certain things happening in Rwanda and vice versa. We're not out here to pick this president or pick that president or endorse that one or speak highly of this one. That's not our job. That's not our passion. That's not our mission. We only want one Africa. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And we want world peace. So wherever there could be issues that are affecting human lives, we want to be a voice for the voiceless.
Yes.
It's very easy
Yes,
stuff.
very true.
So, Rwanda, I love you. Calm down. Okay? Calm down, please. Calm down.
Please calm
Yes,
down.
calm down. Yes. Show some love. Show some humanity there. Understand? If you just hear loss of life anywhere in this world, regardless of the relationships of our leaders, it should touch that human part of you.
Yeah, it should.
Yes. It's a united Africa that we are after.
Amen.
We're not after a specific land. We don't fight for land like, give us that land. Rwanda, get out of here, it's our land. Look, there's enough cobalt in Congo for everybody in this world.
Yo. Yeah.
As the Congolese, there's enough cobalt. Come on now. Let's just find ways to partner up properly. This goes out to all the tech companies as well. Partner up companies, let's do things according to the law,
Yes.
according to international law. We don't need no loss of human lives over here. Let's just chill out here.
Let's make sure the mining facilities are safe.
Yes, and you, Congo, also you have a duty to make sure that these practices are up to standard.
Yes.
It's not right to have these situations where perhaps some abuse are happening, like these kids, like child labor.
Yes.
I just don't want to go into deep. Everybody knows our audience is not stupid. If you've tuned in, welcome. We speak in a way that is direct, but we are also sensitive to the ear, because we know that not everybody has it in them to hear the message. Some people are easily offended. We know that. But as you join us, just know that the core message here is to have one Africa.
Yes.
United as one. Zero xenophobia stuff around here. Okay. And world peace.
Yes.
United Africa and world peace.
Yes. That is our goal.
Yes.
United Africa.
And I'm assuming it's your goal too. It's your objective. You love that message. Right? Yes.
True.
It's very simple stuff. And we Christians too.
Yes.
Yes. There's no way we can be true Christians if we wanted a particular group of people to suffer or to experience certain things for our good.
No.
Just like I once said before. And for some reason, some Rwandese missed that. It's amazing how they didn't have much to say about that. I said, we don't want Congolese people to stop experiencing certain hardship at the expense of Rwandese. And vice versa, we don't want Rwandese people to start experiencing hardship at the to do well at the expense of Congolese.
No. We want people to be equal. Share the love, share the joy. United Africa.
A united Africa.
Yeah.
Yes, a united Africa. I once heard someone say something like, Africa can also be called USA. I was like, stop it. Stop it. It should also be the United States of Africa.
No, man.
I said, man, come down, man. Can you be original, please? That one just made me say, hey, look, no such inputs here, huh? That input is like a bad joke.
No.
They are the USA.
They can
God
keep
bless
it.
them. And God bless them.
Yes.
No animosity here. The only way we're going to have a united Africa is if people learn to be happy for others. You understand? The spirit of jealousy and the spirit of my country is better than your country. My president has done better than your president. What has your country done? First go and build your country. Don't stop talking about us. That's not how we're going to get a united Africa. If there's a spirit of competition between Africa, there shouldn't be any spirit of competition between Africa. That one annoys me, huh?
Yeah.
Those ones are the ones that still consider this supposed little part of Africa as themselves. We are the special ones, the spirit of competition out here. Look, we need to unite first as Africans.
That's true. In the mind. You have to unite in the mind.
You have to unite in the mind.
Yeah.
And let that speak through your actions.
Exactly.
And let's hear it in your voice, in your language. Don't just be out here just like...
one-sided.
My country. Look, which country? Those particular countries in Africa were all carved up, designed, given with a pen and paper. Human beings came. God gave you the entire Africa, but you are so freaking stuck on the idea that the one that the human created is the one to follow, the one to be, the one to appreciate. God said the entire Africa is yours.
Yes.
But you are out here fighting for the little one that the humans sat down in Berlin in 1884 and said, this one is Congo. This one is Nigeria.
And then basically
this one is Rwanda.
Yeah.
So small. Why Rwanda so small? No, Rwanda is the entire African continent.
Yeah.
Congo is the entire African continent. Nigeria is look, no borders, man.
Yes. And it even looks like scribbles, huh?
It looks so messed up. When you look at the different sizes of the countries in Africa, it looks like some people were greedy and some people were so selfish.
Yes.
And they were like, you take the small one.
Yeah.
What did you do? You take the small one, man. I said, but why yours is so big? Why not? I had to go there. They fought for these countries to have them shipped. and carved up the way that it is. And here we are entertaining those same borders. And some of us are even happy for how big our country is. You don't know that that's a representation of complete selfishness from some people.
Yes.
The reason why your country is perhaps the biggest or the third biggest or the second biggest in Congo is because some people are very selfish.
Yes, it was an ego.
It was an ego thing. They fought for these countries, for these sizes.
Oh my gosh.
Because that DRC Congo is the second largest.
Yes.
So even me, myself, as a Congolese, I'm like, my colonizers were selfish.
Hey, greedy.
They were so greedy.
Yeah.
Why they gave Rwanda that small piece?
And they're still the most richest country in the world.
They gave Burundi that small piece. Why this Gabon so tiny like this? Why are they making noise here like this? Oh, you say, look, at least those ones weren't as selfish, huh?
Yeah.
Those ones were humble people. That's why you see they are flourishing now. Huh? You see the greed, and this was too greedy. There was a time they actually wanted to divide Congo into 5 countries.
Oof.
When all that mess was going on with the Tutsis and the takeover, the Kabilas and all this, was to perpetuate the idea to the UN, to all these nations to cover up in 5.
Yeah.
But that never went through, never worked. So that's why it's still the way that it is. Anywho, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Like and subscribe and share. And if you want to be a member, join. Click the button. You are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Much love.